Welcome to our channel Beast Whisperer. The town of Ashford is located next to the National Nature Reserve, a famous wilderness area in Kent, England. On a late summer afternoon, a skinny young fox wandered through the woods in search of food. Instinct led it along a small path until it discovered an abandoned house near the edge of the town. The faint smell of old food still wafted from inside the dilapidated house. The fox quietly crept in through a broken window, hoping to find something edible. But the floor was rotten and covered in dust, with no sign of fresh food. As it wandered out into the backyard, it saw an old dark concrete pit. Thinking that there might be rats or something edible underneath, it leaned forward to peek. Unfortunately, the concrete edge was slippery, causing it to suddenly lose its balance and fall. It was a deep, cold pool where its arduous journey of survival began. The cold water immediately soaked its fur, making its body heavy and difficult to move. It tried to jump to the edge of the pool, but the height and slippery surface made all efforts fail. The sound of claws scratching the concrete echoed throughout the damp space, mixed with the sound of water. The first day passed. The fox was both hungry and cold, its strength rapidly decreasing. It let out a few weak squeals, hoping someone would hear and come to its rescue. However, the abandoned house was completely silent, with only the wind and the rustling of leaves at night. The temperature dropped sharply, forcing it to curl up in the corner of the pool to keep some warmth. On the second day, its legs trembled, and every movement became slow and tiring. Every time it tried to climb, its claws slid down the wet concrete wall. The water had seeped deep into her skin, making her shiver uncontrollably. Her eyes gradually closed, as if she was about to give up on her fate. Suddenly, light footsteps sounded above the edge of the pool. Emily Carter, 27, was jogging along the familiar path around the abandoned house on the edge of Ashford town. This path was sparsely traveled, but she enjoyed the quiet and fresh morning air. As she passed by, Emily heard a faint sound like a kitten. She stopped curiously, trying to locate the source of the sound. As she bent down over the concrete pit, she was startled to see a soaked fox cub below. Its eyes looked straight at her, shining with an urgent cry for help. Emily glanced around but realized she didn't have her phone with her to call for help. She knew that if she delayed, this little life could be lost to exhaustion or cold. In her mind, a reckless decision formed almost immediately. She took a deep breath, ready to act to save the animal. Emily knelt at the edge of the pool, trying to keep her balance on the narrow and slippery concrete. She gently reached down, whispering for the fox to come closer. The fox slowly approached, as if understanding the good intentions of the human in front of her. When her hand touched the cold fur, it did not resist or bite. Emily used both hands to firmly grasp its body, pulling it up with all her strength. The wet and slippery fur made her hands slip several times, but she did not give up. Drops of cold water splashed on her as the fox was lifted from the surface of the pool. Only a few seconds later, both of them were lying on the ground, panting from the tension. The fox trembled, its eyes shining with gratitude and trust. Emily hugged it tightly, feeling its weak heartbeat. Without hesitation, she carried it back to her house a few streets away. Her heart was still beating fast, adrenaline flooding her body. When she got home, Emily placed the fox on the thick carpet near the warm fireplace. She took a large towel and dried its wet fur. Next, she used the hairdryer on low to warm its entire body. The fox closed its eyes, enjoying the pleasant warmth. Emily prepared some soft cat pâté and placed it in a small bowl in front of it. It immediately ate ravenously, as if it hadn't eaten in days. After eating, it began to wander curiously around the living room. Emily smiled and watched, relieved to see that it had regained some vitality. She decided to let it stay overnight to fully recover. When it got dark, the fox curled up and fell asleep on a soft blanket. Its steady breathing echoed softly in the quiet room. Emily also fell asleep with a strange sense of security. The next morning, Emily woke up and realized that the fox was no longer in the house. She searched everywhere but could not find any trace of it. Thinking that it had returned to the forest, she was both sad and relieved. That evening, while preparing dinner, she heard a slight noise at the front door. Opening it, Emily was extremely surprised to see a family of foxes standing right on the porch. The fox cub she had saved yesterday stood in the middle, looking much healthier and more agile. Next to it were an adult fox and 2 other cubs. They wagged their tails continuously, making happy sounds. Emily was moved to understand that this was a special thank you from the creature she had saved. She took some soft food and placed it gently in front of the group. Their tails wagged more vigorously as they began to eat. The yellow light from the porch covered the warm scene like a painting. From that day on, the Fox family occasionally appeared in front of Emily's house. Every time they came, she prepared some food to share. A special bond between humans and wild animals gradually formed. Neighbors began to notice and ask about this strange story. Emily recounted, emphasizing that kindness sometimes does not require planning or preparation. Just a decision in a moment. You can save a life. The story spread throughout the town of Ashford, becoming a living testament to kindness. Many people began to leave food at the edge of the forest for wild animals. Emily realized that she had created a small bridge between 2 different worlds. Every time she saw the Fox family, she remembered the moment by the water tank, the moment a small life placed its trust in her. She knew it would be a memory that would stay with her for the rest of her life. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to watch our story. If you found it interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes.